doing the top 5 strongest jutsu. I also have a new code for you. It's jokes, capital J, everything else is lowercase, OKES, exclamation point. It's going to give you 2,000 cash, and that'll be in the video's description and comments, and you know. So, okay. These these 5 moves are the ones that you want to avoid letting your opponent use on you. You got to be very careful with them. Some of them are just really hard to block in general. And also there are the moves that if you're ever looking for a really strong one and you're able to get your hands on it, then you should go for it kind of move. So we have my alt over there to test. I also did various tests with these to determine the damage and see if maybe if you have to keep doing them over and over till you get the same result, and you do, except for one move, which is why it gets its ranking. And some of them you might even be surprised, especially since you've been hit with them so many times, you feel like that the one that you get hit with the most time is, anyways, the strongest. So okay, let's start off from the bottom. First one up is your, hold on, I gotta grab it. First one up, that is the weakest of the 5, is your particle beam, which on my screen, I know I'm getting particle bucks, but it's actually beam. Mine is glitched. I don't know about you, but mine is all separated. I got a few tree branches thingies on different things that are like that. Okay, so your particle beam, you have to have a 3-element thing to get it: wind, fire, and earth. And it is a ranged attack. It does not work well on Xbox. So, because if if I hit B right now, which is my H over there, it's not going to work. So, first of all, when I use it, it's very fast, so very hard to learn about, dodge. If I walk over to my opponent, which is my alt, oh, that's not right. So, before we did this, I want you to know my alt had 170 health, and what I have written down did not do that. Particle beam was only, I did this multiple times, it was supposed to do 76 damage. Maybe that was just a fluke, or maybe I'm... Okay! This video just got itself messed up. I'm gonna redo that one. Pretend you didn't see that. It's supposed to do 76. How did I do that? I even tested it from the same range. We're gonna give that another shot. How about that? Just pretend you didn't see that. Jeez, it was like over 140 damage. It doesn't even make any sense. I know it doesn't do that. It never even did that before, unless its damage is back to the way it was. Okay, same distance. Maybe distance applies. I don't know. Again. There it is. There's your 76 damage. Yeah, I don't know what happened, unless I didn't reset it and it was already damaged. So 76 damage is your particle beam. That is your number 5 spot. Okay. Let's see, who's next on our list? So, taking the number 4 spot of the top 5 strongest jutsus in the game is from the clan of Tengoku Patri. That is the first move of Silver Wheel, and is also the strongest move out of the whole clan. It is practically, no offense, a waste to get the rest of the moves because they require the mode. Unless you have the maximum amount of mode of 275, then, and only then, would I recommend you max out the whole entire clan. You don't really need to. You may want the mode, but you don't really need to get everything else. It's a waste. Okay, so Silver Wheel kind of gives you a little bit of increase in speed and running speed, and on contact, probably should have reset the character, but on contact, it'll do about 81 damage. It does slightly more than Particle Beam. Hang on, let me reset my alt. So Pentagon Silver Wheel, first move, takes the number 4 spot at a whopping 81 damage. And also, just so you know, all the moves you see here, I recommend you have the max amount of chakra to be able to use all these things properly. Otherwise, because each and every one of these take up a lot of chakra to use, except for one, because it doesn't use chakra. We'll get to that one. Okay, the number 3 spot. The number 3 of the number 3 spot of the top 5 strongest jutsus is Shibaki Tensei, otherwise known as Planetary Devastation. Does not work well. It does not. Okay. You have to be at a certain distance. If I used it right now, I'm not going to because I don't want to sit here and wait for it to recharge. It would not work. You have to have a decent distance. Right here is about the kind of distance you want to be to use on somebody. This jutsu does the damage first. Okay, so the move when they go up into the sky doesn't do anything. You just kind of trap them there, so don't worry about that. All the damage happens on the ground, so I don't even know why the extra part's up there. So, okay. As you can see, he goes up. That jutsu, Shibaki Tensei, does 93 damage to the player. For the record, it did a lot more, but it's balanced now, so the balancing, it did about maybe 140 damage originally. Now, of course, it looks like he did more damage. That's because he had fall damage. You gotta take fall damage into effect. So, without fall damage, it does 93, but most people know how to not take fall damage. When they fall, they know how to roll, so. Yeah. Let me reset the character. So yeah, Shibaki Tensei, all the damage happens right after the move is used. Up in the air does nothing. If you have a move that can be used as they're still in the air, go ahead and it has to be a range attack. It has to be range. Just fire it at them to do more damage. Most people you like to use Black Flames, a combination of that and Black Flames, which does make sense. Number 2 spot. Now I know what you're probably thinking. As of now, since we had the most recent update, well, you're wrong. It's not the strongest. I found this out, actually. Tailed Beast Bomb of both Shukaku, full Shukaku mode, and Tailed Beast State, Jin Cloak, is not the strongest move in the game right now. It is the second strongest, taking the number 2, so it's taking the number 2 spot on our list. This move does not use chakra, so it's like a cheat thing. And when used, hold on, let me fire it. The attack damage can range between a minimum of 94 damage to a maximum of 105. It looks like it took the maximum. That was the maximum right there, the whopping 105. Because my character ended up having 65 health at the end, and it has a whopping 170 to begin with. So number 2 spot does not take chakra. Again, just needs the mode. The second state does a range of 94 to 105 damage. Now your number 1 spot, as I reset the character, is everybody's favorite move that Naruto uses, the Raphson Shuriken. It is the last move on one of the wind branches. Takes a lot of points to get to that. It is the strongest move in the game. It not only gives you an increase in speed, but then there's that whopping damage you gotta, take into effect. So hold on. Let me walk my character back over here. Okay. So Raphson Shuriken gives you an increased in speed boost. And on contact, look at the health. Again, 170 started out. Now it's at a 51. Well, I don't know. And it does, well, it may have varied a little bit, but the actual damage on my list that I got by testing it 3 times was 116. It does 116 damage. It takes the absolute number 1 spot on our list. Those are your top 5 strongest jutsus in the game. Now, other people like to do certain combos, but those don't qualify as strong moves. Those qualify as a combination of strong moves to equal 1 of the top 5 that you see here, in damage-wise. Now, there was another one that was going to be on the list, but it's not on the list, and it actually would have taken the place as the, it would have taken the place as the top in the number 4 spot, and the number 5 spot wouldn't even have been there at all. But the reason it's not there, and it's Blood Dragon, by the way, the reason it's not there is because Blood Dragon doesn't always hit everything at the same time. A player is always moving. Nobody's just going to sit there and take it. If they just sat there and took it and didn't block, it would do 87 damage. The average is about 50 to 60 damage, so it wouldn't even have made the number 5 spot. You can use it if you want, if you're really good with it. So yeah, those are your top 5 strongest jutsus in the game. If you have another one that you really think I missed, please let me know down in the comments below, because otherwise I'm pretty sure I did this right. Now, Plasma Beam does not actually count. It is weaker than Particle Beam now, a lot weaker. It used to match it before balancing. It does actually 44 damage, whereas Particle Beam did that weird thing when it almost obliterated somebody in one hit, and actually does 76 damage. Okay, so if you got any other questions and stuff, post on the comments below, like and sub, and see everybody again in my next posted videos. Again, top 5 strongest jutsus in the game.